Welcome everybody to the Shut Your Mouth Lounge.
Hey,
It's episode number 150. It's a special. I'm Alex, and the Hattie said something. I wasn't paying attention because I got better shit to do. And hey, soon you're here too.
I
Yeah, Halloween day, baby. Kind of a depressing Halloween morning, but you know. Ah. Is anyone in this call consider Halloween their favorite holiday?
Nope.
I don't particularly think about it, but I suppose.
Yeah. I guess holidays don't have much significance for you.
Addie's favorite holiday is Thanksgiving, clearly.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Yes,
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you just send dank memes to all your loved ones. I have come to offer you danks for all that you've done for me. Alright. So, the original plan was to roll with a topicless podcast, but with 3 people, I feel like we would go in, that'd get a bit too masturbatory.
Yeah.
Quick, let's talk about Assassin's Creed. Let's roll. So, I guess we'll just go ahead and say, Addie, you got anything coming out on your channel this week?
I don't think so.
Alright, let me check if there's anything coming out on the group channel. I was not real prepared for this because we were talking shit about the Pope Mobile before this recording. And I just got caught up in Pope Mobile talk. That's what the theme should have been for today.
The Pope Mobile.
Yeah.
Can the Pope Mobile do the same like freaking Transformers shit that the freaking Batmobile can? Can it turn into a bicycle? Like if the Pope gets too swarmed, he just switches to bike mode and runs people over as he gets away.
Yeah. The rubber bullets, I swear.
It turns into a tank. Like in Arkham Knight.
It rolls over people's cars.
Yeah.
I swear the electrocutions are non-fatal. Alright. On Monday, Gary's Mod Part 3. On Tuesday, Fighting Games R Episode 16, Tekken 7. And on Friday, Addie and Goku play Uniclear. And then, on Saturday, we try in vain to draw the character of Tachanka from Rainbow Six Siege. Alright. So, Soon, what you done this past week, man?
Not that much. I mean, I got my new puppy, Rayla.
Puppy!
So when I've not been at work, I've been taking care of her. Right now she's napping. But
what kind of puppy is she? What kind of puppy personality has she got?
She's a border collie, and she's very, very curious. She likes to explore everything.
Oh no.
And yeah, that's not great. That's not too great.
That's how you find poop in secret places.
Yeah, except she's actually really, really smart, and she's already potty trained after like 2 days. Well, kind of potty trained. She like seeks out the pads that we've laid out and goes on those pads already.
Oh, all right.
So she's really, really smart.
Border collies are fairly medium-sized dogs, aren't they?
Yeah. She'll get up to like 30 pounds.
Okay, because I've never had a small dog in my life that figured out how to potty train within 3 years.
Within 3 years. All of my dogs have learned to get potty trained pretty quick.
You see, I just don't have the dedication to actually train the dog, so I usually, like, that Chihuahua I had for 8 years, that Chihuahua still shit in the house, like, when it was 8.
Okay, well, Chihuahuas are kind of dumb.
They're stubborn is what they are.
They literally have, like, brain damage because of how their skulls are too small for their brains.
Speaking of, here's Pink.
Pink, do you have brain damage because your skull is too small?
Oh, I had no idea.
Oh no!
This is news to me.
Ah, Pink. So, Pink, you missed it. You got anything coming out on your channel?
No.
All right then. Back to puppy talk.
All right. I came just in time.
So yeah, she really liked the snow. It snowed yesterday, so she already got introduced to that.
Jesus Christ,
What the heck?
Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Yeah, she enjoyed jumping around in it.
That is always a delight when the dogs like snow, especially when they're puppies or they're small dogs and they have to jump to get through it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm excited for winter this year because my Shorky is probably going to be doing a lot of that bunny hopping through the snow. He bunny hops even when there ain't snow. Oh man. Okay, so with the Border Collie, I feel like there's a specific question to ask with Border Collies, but I can't remember. Ah, shit. Pink, you know things about dogs, don't you?
A little bit. Border collies are not my forte. I know a lot about German shepherds because those are my favorite breed. Because they're smart boys.
Mm-hmm.
Border collies are
really
supposed to
smart,
be
too.
on the fluffier side, right?
Yeah, she's a short-haired border collie though.
Okay, that's nice. That's gonna be less of a hassle come to the summer months or whenever she
Yeah.
gets a new coat.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so I started other than like dealing with the new puppy and taking care of her and my usual job, uh I just started Blood of Zeus yesterday.
What the hell is that?
Is it
It's
any
a
good?
it's a new Netflix anime, like made by Netflix, made by the same people who made Castlevania, I think.
Oh!
And it's about like Greek mythology. The first episode has been very, very rough.
Oh boy.
Castlevania
It's like one of those
Do you mean rough in terms of bad or rough in terms of lots of blood and gore?
rough in terms of bad.
Oh no.
Yeah. So first off, it does like the old school anime thing where like only the foreground is animated and like the background is just like static imagery, but occasionally it moves and like everything moves in tandem with one another and it's just very like stiffly animated.
I see.
Yeah, like those old school animes of like the 80s and 70s that were like really cheap, which is just bizarre because it's made by Netflix and like Netflix has money and
No,
they've
they
been
don't.
promoting this. Okay, they don't have money, but they spend a lot of money. They spend a lot of money. Uh and yet like they put a lot of promotion into this show and it's just looks very cheaply made. And yeah. Also the first episode is just awkwardly written. Like the hero is just helping this random hobo who's just like a regular hobo who's just like known as the drunkard around town. And like nobody knows about these monsters that are invading Greece. And then he starts asking this random ass drunkard, and the drunkard happens to know like everything about these monsters that nobody else knows about.
Hang on. Is the drunkard hobo Diogenes?
No, no.
Boy, there's
don't know.
Minotaurs about. By the way, here's my penis.
They haven't,
Yes,
they
I was
haven't
about
said
to.
what his name is, but yeah, no, he's just, it's just really weird how he just kind of like rattles off the origin of these monsters, like how they originated because the gods were having a war with the giants after they had slain the Titans. The Titans like cursed them to fight with giants, and then the giants lost because some of the giants betrayed the other giants, and then one of the giants washed ashore, and then he was eaten by a bunch of people, and they turned into like giant demons or something.
Are you
Because
sure this
they
old
ate
man
a-
isn't supposed
Man,
to be Homer?
basketball is rough.
Maybe. I don't know. It just maybe if like they give what his name is, like if it's Homer or something. But for right now, it's just really awkward because the first episode is just really clunkily written exposition.
Hang on, can we go back? Because it kind of got caught up while I was saying, is the guy Homer? But Andy's response to that tale about the Giants was saying, man, basketball is rough.
What?
Is Shaquille O'Neal one of the legendary Greek Titans?
Yes.
That mysterious unmentioned one that was, who's the one that's not mentioned? Like, isn't Gaia's husband never mentioned by name?
Ouroboros?
Shit. There's one important one that's never referred to by name. That one's Shaq.
I love it.
He's just
God,
stuck
what-
around all this time, and when basketball became a sport, he was like, my time has come.
Yes.
I've waited millennia for this.
If
Finally, I
only
will be worshipped again.
If only he would. If only he would have been able to use the Magnum Dunk on Zeus.
No.
Maybe they would have won.
But yeah, like the fight scenes are pretty good. The fight scenes are good. Outside of the fight scenes, it's very badly animated and written so far as I've gotten. I mean, I'm only on the first episode. I haven't even finished the first episode yet. But so far so bad.
Okay.
What else have I done? I watched another episode of the Kingdoms show, the one about the Koreans fighting zombies.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's still good. I'm on the second season now, and I watched the first episode of the second season. And yeah, it's interesting still. Very, very unique show. I highly recommend you try watching it if you're at all interested in zombies in a like sense of like you want to see a new type of zombie show, because this is definitely a new type of zombie show / movie or whatever.
I do need to get started on that. I've been busy since you recommended it, and the TV show I've been watching has been Fargo, but once Fargo's done and so is the school year, then yeah, I'll try to get started on it.
Yeah, it's really good, and the protagonist is really interesting as a protagonist because, like I said before, he just kind of like goes up to people and he's like, if you don't do what I ask, I will kill your entire family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's.
I was
like,
waiting for that to continue, but then it just ended, and I was like, oh, okay, so he just threatens to kill their family. Okay, I thought you were going to throw a little bit on there, like, oh, he doesn't actually do it, though.
I mean, he doesn't do it because they do what he says, because they know that he will kill their entire family. And then he'll just, like, casually joke with, like, his bodyguard, and he'll be like, I should kill your entire family. And then the bodyguard's just like, that's not funny, dude.
Boy, medieval times were something, weren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, what do you mean that's horrible? They're only peasants.
Yeah. I mean, it's really interesting that, like, they actually explore that facet of medieval society, because, like, not many shows or movies do that. Like,
Game of Thrones kind of came close to it, though. Peasants were just kind of hand waved away, like, unironically, several times in that show.
Yeah. The books are better about it with the peasants and stuff.
Yeah, but the books have the time for George R. R. Martin to explore every single fucking thread of Cersei's new dress, so...
Yeah, that's fair. I've also still been playing some RuneScape and Persona 4.
Alright, you've probably gotten farther in Persona 4 than I have. I was excited to do a playthrough, and then school happened.
Yeah, I beat the first dungeon, and I'm starting on the kanji story.
Alright, I think you're actually where I am now.
Okay, yeah.
They changed the first dungeon's boss a little bit, didn't they?
Did they?
It seemed like they did to me.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think she was still the same.
Shit, I had a lot easier of a time beating her this time than I did on the first run. She kicked my ass first time.
I mean, I didn't have a problem beating her. It just took me a while. It took me a long time to beat her.
Yeah, she's got a lot of health.
Yeah, and the prince really messed me up.
Well, it doesn't help that you're reliant on Chie to do any damage to her.
Yeah, yeah. And she just constantly like stuns Chie out.
Yep, if blue wall is up, then Chie just should spend the entire time blocking.
Yeah.
Like, blocking is something that is really boring, but at the high level for Persona and Shin Megami Tensei in general, it's super necessary.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, like, I don't know. She was pretty easy for me to beat. Like, I wasn't ever worried about dying. I was just like, oh, I guess I'm just gonna continue to do this for a long while. Because, like, I had, like, all my SP and stuff, and so I just could heal whatever damage she dealt to me with, like, double Dia.
Yeah, absolutely, because, like, by that point, you definitely have a Persona with the, yeah.
Yeah, and then she just like focused down Chie, so I would just like use Yosuke and myself to Dia Chie back to full health, and then uh Chie would just be the attacker mostly. If like blue wall was up, I would just use like regular combat unless the Phoenix was starting to stare at her menacingly.
You remember that old comic picture where Wonder Woman is carrying Superman on one shoulder and Batman on the other? Just
No.
replace that with the Persona 4 party at that point. Chie just carrying the other two.
Yeah, and then RuneScape, I have already reached level 50 in crafting, which is kind of crazy. Modern RuneScape is definitely easier to skill up in than old school RuneScape was.
Yeah, I always heard that as an issue about RuneScape, that if you, like, were going for crafting, that was a commitment. Congrats, you
Yeah,
are no longer an adventurer, you are now a civilian.
yeah, yeah. Crafting is kind of difficult at first because you don't have a lot you can craft with. You mostly have to like work with cow hides and turn them into leather, and that's not very much XP. But I ended up getting like protean hides from the microtransaction loot boxes. Uh, I got 2,000 of them, which basically brought me up from like level 10 to level 53 with only 1,000 of them so far.
Jesus.
So yeah, that kind of broke my game a little bit.
Yeah, it sounds very RNG heavy.
Yeah, the micro you can play modern RuneScape without having any microtransactions. It's just you start an Iron Man game and then you can't use like any microtransaction items. And there's a bunch of other rules about Iron Man. A lot of people only play modern RuneScape on Iron Man accounts just because like there's more challenge there.
Yeah. Weird having a rule set that's anti-microtransaction.
Yeah, but yeah, so old school RuneScape was very much so focused on like the grind and leveling up, whereas modern RuneScape has like adopted the usual MMORPG tactic of like the real game starts once you're like max level, whereas like old school RuneScape was like, no, the game is getting to max level. Modern RuneScape is just like, no, the game starts after you reach max level. And so they made it a lot easier to level up in general. There's just a lot of faster XP routes, and then microtransactions are very easy, make it very easy to level up as well.
You know, I never quite thought about that, but you are right that it does seem like with a lot of MMORPGs, which personally the only MMORPG I put a significant amount of time in was Marvel Heroes, but it does seem like a lot of them, the run from minimum level to max level is really just a long tutorial where you pick up new abilities, and then once you've got everything, then the actual game starts, and now your goal is get the best gear.
Yeah, yeah. And I personally enjoy MMORPGs that don't have that, and you actually have to like work to level up, and like the fun is leveling up.
It depends on how difficult the endgame challenges are, like how fun the endgame challenges are.
Yeah, which old school RuneScape combat was literally just quick, click, click, and you do it. Whereas modern RuneScape created a new combat system with a ton of abilities and stuff, like other MMORPGs.
Yeah.
And that's really where like the divide between modern RuneScape and old school RuneScape started. Is a lot of people really hate the modern RuneScape combat system, but it actually does require a lot of thought, and it can make the game fun in terms of like combat instead of just like grinding out enemies by clicking them and then eating your sharks. Uh, you like actually have to think about what abilities you're going to use. But even so,
All
Pardon
right.
me, but did you just say eat sharks?
yeah, eat sharks.
What does that mean?
That's
Does it
the
mean exactly what it says?
that's the highest quality food in RuneScape in terms of how much healing it does. It takes a really high amount of cooking and fishing to get sharks. And so like once you get to like the higher level combat and skills, uh, sharks are what you eat generally.
Ah.
I love this stupid video game logic of, well, the shark is the other apex predator, so clearly it should be the best healing item. Like, I've not eaten shark. I've never met someone who's eaten shark, but it seems like shark would taste bad to me.
Shark tastes good.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I've had shark. It tastes good.
All right.
Now, what tastes bad is squid. Squid is horrible.
I believe that.
Squid tastes like rubber, honestly.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Like it tastes like you're chewing rubber. But anyway, what else did I do? I don't think I did anything else. That's mostly it.
All right. Pink.
What did Pink do this week? Yesterday, Guilty Gear.
Guilty
Did a little
Gear.
bit of Guilty Gear. I played versus AI for about 20 to 30 minutes, not very long. I just wanted to test things out, figure out what the controls are. Took me a while to actually figure out that I didn't need to set up the controller scheme because just plugging the controller and the game already figured out that I had it plugged in, so that was nice.
Yeah, it's real good about that, actually.
Yeah.
So
I was
Pink,
surprised. I was looking all over the menu, like, well, where do I set up my controller? I don't know how to press enter to go to the main menu. Then I just hit start button on my controller. It's like, hey, here's the menu. It's like, oh, that's nice. I was getting really worried there, slapping all the keys on my keyboard.
so Pink, did you make the biggest mistake?
But what is the biggest mistake?
Did you go into arcade?
No. No, I did
Okay,
not.
good. So the game arcade mode is arcade mode. It has Ino in it at the
Wow.
end, and Ino has an attack that she likes to use where she just basically turns the screen into death. And
Oh.
Arcade mode has an unnecessarily difficult final boss, is what he's saying.
yeah. So if you go into arcade mode, you can have some fun while you get to Ino, and then Ino happens, and then you quit.
Funny, because I think Ino was the character that I was facing off at least once or twice when I did the versus AI.
She doesn't have access to it unless she's in boss form.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the really key thing there, because she is tournament legal, and she would not be if she had access to that move.
I like how she does like a Van Halen riff when she whips my ass.
Yeah, I do too. I love it, I try to learn her, but I'm shit with her. Anyone ever have that in a fighting game where there's like, oh, this character's awesome, I want to play them. Oh, I suck with them.
Hakumen, Hazama.
Basically anyone I play.
Soon, you've got a bit of fighting game experience from PlayStation All-Stars. Was there anyone on that roster that you were like, oh man, this character's so cool, I want to learn him, and you just sucked with him?
Naruto. Naruto? The Heavenly Sword protagonist.
Right, her, yes, I do remember her.
Yeah, she was very hard to play for me.
That makes sense. She seems like she'd be the combo meister character in that game alongside Raiden.
Yeah, kind of. She was like poor man's Raiden.
Poor man's Raiden.
Raiden was broken.
Yeah, I remember footage of that. Yes, I remember seeing Raiden do crazy shit.
Yeah, Naruto had to you actually had to think about what you were doing, whereas Raiden, you just kind of won.
Press buttons.
Yeah, pretty much. It was like, what was it? Like down circle. Or no, it was like right square down circle, and then alt, and you kill them.
Yeah. That's always a problem with fighting games is, well, here's two characters that are both good, but one of them requires me to think, and one of them doesn't. Is there not a bit of that going on with the Fire Emblem characters in Smash, Pink?
Yeah, there's definitely things like that. Robin is really the character that requires thinking because he and or she is not a sword boy.
She is a
All the
book boy.
special attacks, yeah, a book boy or girl. What's a way you can
Book
make
girl.
so funny? I don't know.
Roll the R.
Yeah, but they're all books and magic. So
Book grill.
book grill. Yes, the grill master. Yeah, Robin is the magic character, so the sword stuff, sword fair, which is like top tier in Smash, that is on the back burner and is not all that useful.
Whereas you can just pick Marth or Ith and just
Martha Ike, yeah, he's probably the top tier Fire Emblem character if I'm not mistaken, which I could be. It's been a while. But yeah, I think Ike has been agreed to be the best Fire Emblem character in Smash Ultimate.
What about the dude
He's
version of
got
Marth? What about the dude version of Marth who has Ike's up smash, up special? The guy.
No.
What's his name? Crom.
Oh, Crom, yeah.
Wait, is Marth a guy?
Martha's a guy.
Fuck.
Don't worry, he looks like a girl. Dude looks like a lady. So Crom's thing is that he's got a very powerful up special, up B, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But he's also a lot like Little Mac, and when he gets thrown off the stage, his recovery options are absolutely terrible.
Right, because his up B will just kill him.
Uh-huh. It's like I think even Ike, even though they share the same up B, Ike still has a side special. So his horizontal recovery is very good. The vertical recovery, not so much. Crom has neither vertical nor horizontal recovery, so not great.
Nothing makes me laugh harder than Ike or Bowser doing that kind of move and just killing themselves.
I feel like if all of us played Smash together, like ever, we would spend at least one match just going, all of us just going with different Fire Emblem characters, yelling the mighty sword.
I don't have a Fire Emblem character. I just go with like someone from Castlevania or some shit. Oh man. Oh yeah, we were talking about Guilty Gear, weren't we?
Yeah, Guilty Gear.
Yeah.
So Pink, what are your impressions?
It's a good game. Good game. I enjoy the characters. Faust creeps me out. It's like,
Does he supposed to?
Yeah. It's like this. What is this thing?
It was love at first sight for me with Faust.
Yeah, that's how you can differentiate the weirdos from the normal people, because both you and Goku are weirded out by Faust, and both W and I look at Faust and we go yeah.
Faust is some sort of eldritch abomination, but colorful.
He's so friendly.
He's too friendly.
Oh man, did you see Faust throw?
I don't know. I saw a lot from Faust.
He climbs up and like hugs the opponent and licks their face, and then does the fucking rear view.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet, but I need to now.
I love Faust. Faust's probably my favorite Guilty Gear character.
Yeah, Guilty Gear is one of those rare fighting games where I don't know which characters I dislike, because there's characters I don't like fighting against, but I don't have anything against them existing.
You're not huge on Sin Kiska.
I don't like fighting Sin Kiska. if they change his playstyle, I might like him.
Yeah, it also helps that Sin's just not in X2, so...
Yeah.
I feel like X2's roster is more cohesive than Exard's. And I realized that when we are listing off Guilty Gear titles, it sounds like fucking gibberish.
Yeah, it does. What is an Exard?
So here's the naming convention. First there was Guilty Gear. Then there was the second version of the first Guilty Gear called Guilty Gear X. So the X was to signify that it's the first game. Then we have X2 or XX, which are the same game, and the number of X's is supposed to signify that it's the second game. Then we have Xrd, which because they didn't want to make it XXX because porn, so it's supposed to be X, and then the Erd is supposed to tell you that it's the third game.
Uh-huh.
And now we have Strive, which has 4 in it.
I see.
And the stupidest thing of all is that there's 5 different versions of XX.
That's a lot of XX.
Yeah. There's X2. I just call it X2 because XX sounds stupid. There's X2. There's X2 Reload. There's X2 Slash. There's X2 Accent Core. Good luck figuring that one out. X2 Reload. X2 Accent Core Reload. And the one that we have on Steam, the best version, X2 Accent Core Reload Plus.
No, actually, I think the one we have is Accent Core, plus Reload plus slash, which is a hashtag. Slash is.
The slash is the hashtag. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, so it's honestly, the title of the goddamn game is Guilty Gear XX / Accent Core plus Reload.
Yes.
I hate it so much. It's a good
This
game.
is just excessive.
What a stupid fucking... Could you imagine if Street Fighter just started stacking the titles like that?
I mean, they already have.
Like they were made fun of for doing around the time of Street Fighter 4.
It's just Ultra Street Fighter 4. They didn't call it Ultra Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition. Imagine if they did it.
They could have.
They could have. Like, fuck it. Oh god, it would be so bad for Street Fighter 2. How many versions of Street Fighter 2 were there?
Too many.
There were 6 in arcades, there's 5 in arcades, so there's 5 on the arcade collection. But if you count the console ports,
yeah, I'm opening up Google and then giving you a full title for the final version of Street Fighter 2.
Because there was also the HD edition that they released on Xbox 360 and PS3, and
there was also the separate HD remix.
And there was Ultra Street Fighter 2, which they released on the Switch. Which had VR mode for some reason?
What?
Why?
I don't know. That game's in like fucking 16-bit.
Right? I wasn't aware the Switch had VR capabilities.
All right. So we had Street Fighter 2: The World Warrior. Then we had Champion Edition.
Oh, if we go through every individual title one by one, we're gonna be here a while.
Actually, apparently not so. Well, at least a lot of games aren't freaking officially recognized as part of canon anymore.
These other games are not canon. We don't count them.
Then there's Street Fighter 2 apostrophe Turbo Hyper Fighting, Super Street Fighter 2 The New Challengers, ST. There was the Hyper Street Fighter 2 The Anniversary Edition, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix, and Ultra Street Fighter 2 The Final Challengers. So the final subtitle or the final full title for Street Fighter 2 would be Hyper Ultra Super Street Fighter 2 apostrophe
The New Challengers, The Final Challengers, The World Warriors.
Yeah, the World Warrior Champion Edition, Hyper Fighting The New Challengers, the Anniversary Edition, The Final Challengers Turbo HD Remix.
I love it. Now, which of those versions have Cammy on it?
Most of them.
Most of them.
Most of them are okay.
Yes.
Nice.
Like, as long as we're operating by Cammy standards, Pink, you'd like most of the Street Fighters.
Pink really loves the Street Fighter Alpha because there's 3 Cammys in it.
It's like operating on, do I like this Marvel game? Well, does it feature Spider-Man?
Oh boy, does it!
That's not a high standard.
Well, there is the Marvel versus Capcom Infinite.
No, that has
It's
Spider-Man.
not a high
That has
standard,
Spider-Man?
but it is
Is it?
my standard.
Yeah,
Does it have
Spider-Man was in
Spider-Man?
Infinite.
Oh, okay.
The only the only Capcom Marvel game did not feature Spider-Man was X-Men X-Men Children of the Atom.
Hmm.
Which that game featured Akuma, so it's on Addy's good list at least.
Yeah, I was about to say, it did not feature Spider-Man, but it did feature Akuma.
That was the
Why?
original fucking what cameo, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Akuma
it-
just
it-
pops up in games he has no right being in.
Is that another one of those situations where it's also somehow canon as well?
I don't think so, but maybe.
It would be neat if it was. I mean, Transformers are canon to Marvel.
Yeah.
Like, where was Optimus Prime during Infinity War, huh?
That is an excellent question.
You'd think the
Man,
destruction
Tony
of the...
didn't have to die. We could have sacrificed Optimus.
Yeah,
It would have been fine.
oh shit, Optimus is dead again. Don't worry, he'll be back next week.
We could have sacrificed Shia LaBeouf.
Hang on, is Optimus Prime just Mecha Christ?
Yes.
Jesus Christ is a semi-truck.
I love it.
Oh shit.
So yeah, he did.
This is the kind of talk that
Guilty
Guilty Gear leads to.
Yeah, Guilty Gear. Pink, did you figure out the control scheme?
For the most part, yes.
Did you figure out that there's 5 buttons?
Yeah, there's like the face buttons, the right bumper, which is to dust somebody, which I'm not sure
Yeah.
what that means.
You
And
clean
then
them
the
off.
right trigger makes you do a respect. You can give your opponent a
Oh, yeah,
respect.
Yeah, that's the game stance.
Well,
Yeah.
there's actually...
And I didn't know that. So when I hit the right trigger, Viking just gave a little handout or something. And I thought, what the heck is that? Am I activating some ultimate counter or something? No. It's just a respect.
The crazy thing is, Guilty Gear actually has taunts and respects. They're separate things.
Not XX. I checked.
Really?
Yeah, from what I could tell, the taunts and respects were the same animation, so it seems like they got split up in freaking Xrd.
Well, I'd hope that a person playing Soul would not go for a respect, and then, oh no, Soul flipped them off.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe I just checked wrong. It's possible.
Oh man. All right. So yeah, Guilty Gears are pretty good. It's my thing with the X2 is that it's before it went super anime, you know?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like I just wish that there was a way for the freaking the fan team to mod in the new moves the characters gained in Xrd, and then make the freaking RC slow down time, and I would be sad.
Track down Izuatari and be like, hey, we need you to make new sprites.
I mean, yeah. But I actually did hear that apparently the team who worked on this, apparently they might have been hired like completely.
All of them but one.
Yeah. We don't talk about Mike Z.
We don't talk about Mike C.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So part of the team that got hired, the reason Guilty Gear XX went on sale was because they updated the netcode to make it a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
And they hired a guy who is known as probably the best for netcode, but also just recently got in a lot of trouble, called Mike Z.
Right.
Mike Z was the director on Skullgirls, and he just a couple months ago got accused by some female employees of sexual harassment. So in response, he fired every single person off of the development team.
The man must be innocent, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, clearly.
Man, the people that didn't even... When you fire even the people who didn't accuse you, that's what I call a fucking scorched earth policy. Jesus.
Salted
Can't
earth.
accuse me if they're already fired, even though that doesn't make much sense.
Yeah. The really funny thing is, Arxis brought him on as part of the team to add the new netcode to Guilty Gear. Now the moment that has actually dropped, he's out. They fired him.
I mean, good work, Arxis. You got him.
Supposedly what it was they set up a contract with him to begin with, and they said, you can continue employment if you prove that the accusations against you are false. So they just set it up where we're going to use you for the part we want from you, and we know you aren't going to be able to prove you're self-innocent, because it could not be more obvious you're guilty. So we're just going to get rid of you after we've had our use of you.
Very diplomatic.
Adios,
Yeah,
fucker.
I mean, fair play. Honestly, fair play.
Yeah.
Like, just cut to a clip of that bit from Fresh Prince when Uncle Phil throws Will Smith's friend out, right?
Oh.
That's
So,
that's a bit
Yeah.
of Schadenfreude, ain't it?
Yeah. Oh, so Pink, did you do anything aside from Guilty Gear?
Anything aside from Guilty Gear? Not really. I played a lot of Civ on my Switch, got a diplomatic victory, which was wild for me because I'm such a notorious warmonger.
It's hard getting a diplomatic victory.
Yeah,
For a reason you would
I've
never
never
expect.
purposely gone for a diplomatic victory. It just sort of happened at one point. I realized, hey, I've actually voted in the quote-unquote correct ballots for all the Congress events. I'm sitting pretty high and mighty at 12 diplomatic victory points out of 20. What if I actually try to go for this? So, yeah, I suzerained all the city-states because I had a butt ton of envoys. I don't remember how or why. I just sort of had them. And I just accumulated diplomatic favor over the course of a couple 100,000 years. And the final thing had, I want to say it was 3 things you could vote on. So, 2 were just random things. And then the last one was the typical, make this person lose 2 diplomatic victory points or gain 1. And I was like, well, if I get, I was just 2 points away from getting the diplomatic victory. And I was like, well, I could get these 2 first votes correct and then vote against myself and accomplish nothing. Or I can take all 1,567 of my diplomatic favor, pump it all into that last one of giving me 2 diplomatic victory points. And it doesn't matter what those other 2 options are, because as long as I get these last 2 diplomatic victory points, I'm going to win. So I pumped all my votes into that ballot, crossed my fingers, and then the victory screen popped up, and I was like, yes,
Well,
I did it.
Here's a fucking funny thing. If you vote for yourself to lose diplomatic victory points, and everyone else also votes that, you only lose minus what? If it says, have Pink lose 2 Diplo victory points, and Pink votes to lose 2 Diplo victory points, Pink only loses 1 Diplo victory point because he voted correctly.
Yeah.
That is true. I didn't even consider that.
So if you vote for yourself to lose diplomatic victory points, that hemorrhages it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I could have won there even if I did vote for myself to lose.
Who'd you win the diplomatic victory as?
I was playing as Arabia.
Oh, that's a real weird one.
Yeah, I was going hardcore into science route. It's like I had science set up. I had already launched an Earth satellite, and I was doing the next step to science victory. And I just sort of fell backward into the diplomatic victory. Like I didn't even build a lot of the wonders that you should build to get points.
Right.
I think Ma Bodhi Temple is one of them. I did not build that. I did get Statue of Liberty. That's sort of around the time when I figured out, hey, I've got a lot of diplomatic victory points. Let me build this real quick just in case. So
Arabia's,
I go ahead.
I was just going to say, Arabia's like Japan. They can kind of go for any victory type, honestly.
Yeah, what I liked them a lot after learning how to play them. Because when I first played Arabia, I was like, this civ just isn't for me. Because I was being stupid and I thought I had to hardcore focus on religion. Religion is something that you don't have to focus on at all.
Yeah.
And you'll get rewarded for it anyway.
Yeah, Arabia's like the complete opposite. You can just ignore religion and you get one for free.
Yeah. So yeah, I went hardcore down the science route. Even had a lot of culture. I don't remember why, but there was something going on there. But I wasn't going to win a culture victory like at all because Congo was on the same map, and
Yeah.
towards the end of the game, they were generating a lot of tourism.
I managed to win my culture victory against Congo, and then holy fuck, it was a pain.
Yeah.
Like with my other games, I had to like handicap myself so I wouldn't win a culture victory because I was trying to get a diplomatic victory and a religious victory.
Fucking Mr. Spammer of World Wonders is like, shit, I gotta stop myself from winning culture victories. How?
Stop being so impressed by my wonders.
It really is a problem though. If you don't have Congo on the map, then like there's a good chance that you'll win culture victory just because like it's a ticking win condition.
Right.
There is very much a hard counter to culture victories, but the AI is too stupid to counter.
The problem is the AI won't counter your win. Except like in the case of diplomatic victory.
Yeah,
That's the only one where there's a legit way for them to automatically know, hey, this person is 2 points away from victory. Let's tell them to not win.
Their hand is forced. Because, like, everything else they have to commit and be like, well, shit, this guy's getting ahead on culture. I need to build more culture buildings. Whereas to counter somebody else's Diplo victory, you just vote against them.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's... For me, I've always had trouble with Diplo victory, because I remember I started up a Sweden game with the intention of getting a Diplo victory, and I just stumbled ass backwards into a culture victory, and I was like, okay, well...
Yeah, the only way I was able to beat Congo in a culture victory was by taking over all of their cities that had
that doesn't count, motherfucker. I was able to beat Congo in a culture victory by killing every last Congolese man I saw.
No, they were still alive. They were just my slaves.
Yeah. It's like, take their cities with the relics and whatnot in them. It's like, give me your high tourism output cities, and I'll leave you the scraps.
I basically turned them into my battle by the end. I wish vassalization was still a thing. Is it still a thing?
No.
Yeah. Civ 4 had vassalization.
The trouble is you can never trust AI vassals.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they will inevitably have the goal of stop being a vassal, so they're just intent on getting you.
Yeah, but it was still nice in like Civ 4 when we like vassalized like Gandhi. Yeah, we both got vassals, didn't we?
No, I always play peaceful when I'm with you.
Okay. Then I got vassals, I guess.
The only time I've played aggressively with you was when I was forced to play War Gandhi.
Oh, yeah.
The fucking elephants.
Yeah, after I took over, like, 3/4 of the map as Genghis.
I don't know what game you're referring to.
The only game in Civ 4 that we played.
The one where I nuked you at the end.
Yeah.
All I remember from that game is me sitting for like fucking 4,000 years until it got to 2,000 and you were building the satellite. And I was like, he's way closer to winning than I am. I'm just going to drop an ICBM for the hell of it.
I probably still have a picture of like the map if I can ever find it. How long ago even was that game?
Oh, that would have been when you and I weren't even that close of friends. That probably would have been 7 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, because, like, that was what started you and me being friends, was that you and I were the only PC gamers on the FOS.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I was your only choice for playing Civ or CK2 with someone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. That was a long fucking time ago. Jesus.
Yeah, it was. I think I got you, like, Civ 4. Did I? I think I got you Civ 4.
I don't know if you got me it. I would have bought Civ 4 on my own if somebody else didn't buy me it anyways, because I liked Civ 4 a lot at the time. Nowadays, a little less so. It's aged poorly.
I think I got you Civ 4 the same time that, like, I got MEF, Civ 3.
I don't remember that, but okay. I believe you because I don't think I would have noticed.
Which, that would have been a long time ago, because MEF hasn't been around for years.
Yes. Yeah, Joey was probably, 5 years ago? Christ, it's been a long time.
I can probably check on, like, Steam when the last time he logged in was.
I can check on the forum when the last time he would have logged in on the forum was.
5 years ago.
5 years ago, Christ.
Man, oh man. 2015, good times.
Wow. I was still in high school then.
Shit, man, I was still going to online school. That sucked.
Yeah, I mean, if, like, that was before, like, we became friends, like, I was trying to convince you to go to real school, remember?
Yes, I do remember that.
And eventually I convinced you.
It was a mix of things, but yeah.
Yeah.
What was it? I'm trying to look. Why can't I find Joey's account on the forum?
He might have.
Was it not deleted?
It was probably deleted.
Oh, you're right. He did delete it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have no idea then when the last time he posted was.
Mike's still in touch with him somewhere, I'm sure.
He is, yes. What were we even talking about?
We were talking about me being a diplomat.
Yes, Civ 6. All right, anything else to say about that?
Not really.
All right, anything else?
Had a lot of fun with it. Finished everything in the nick of time because I had all the new special modes turned on, and I felt like a meteor was about to hit me like anytime soon.
Meteors or vampires, one of the two.
Yeah, yep. So, yeah. Outside of that, I don't think there's anything else I did this week.
All right, Addy.
Yeah.
What you gonna do, Mom?
So I got caught up on JoJo because I skipped the last 2 volumes because Araki's taking like 2 months to put out one, which is fair. It's understandable. I'm not expecting the guy to put out a volume every week, so...
This is the 8th saga of JoJo. He's been at it for a while.
Yeah, it's the 8th part of JoJo. Also, this one part has been going since 2010.
Yeah.
It's 10 years.
10 years?
That's dedication.
10 years for 4 balls, right?
Yes, 10 years for 4 balls. And, not a whole lot has happened. This part's equivalent... This part's equivalent of the Zeppelis died.
Yay!
Or at least it seems like it, but he has survived blowing up, so... or at least people cited that. I don't remember, but, it's something that would happen. So... yeah. That, and also, there's this one character that I very much dislike, that's technically a good guy, as in he's not actively on the bad side, but also it seems like Araki's writing him to be the most dislikable character in the whole series.
Okay, that's a high bar, ain't it? Considering,
well, yeah.
Considering that didn't part 3 have a rape monkey?
Yes, it had Rape Monkey. It had freaking guy whose powers was turning you back into a baby. So yes, I don't think he's there yet, but he's close.
Okay.
That's troubling. But so there's this character who is who was basically the main character was adopted, I suppose, by a family at the start of the part because he had amnesia, and one of the members of this family is a freaking creep.
Of course.
And yes,
I'll be back in an hour, by the way.
All right.
All right.
I
Later
gotta go
soon.
play with my puppy.
All right.
Puppy. Good old evil adopted family.
Yes. No, the adopted family is overall not evil. It's only the mother character and this guy.
Ah.
But it's weird because the mother character seems to be flat out evil, with some resemblance of some time ago might have been good, and then this guy is I want to do good things. I want to be a good guy, but I'm just so much of a freaking perv that I literally can't. My existence denies me the ability to be good. So,
Okay.
like for example, there was this altercation between the mother character and this character, where the mother character came back from prison. She broke out of prison,
As
and
you do.
the rest of the family didn't like that. So, to
Damn
get her
it,
to
Mom,
go
go
away-
back to prison.
Yeah. So the rest of the family were, telling her to leave the house at least. And this character that I'm talking about, Joshu, he just goes, "You're my mother, aren't you? Well, then how about you show some tits? I'm hungry."
Okay.
This guy's like 30.
I figured. I didn't figure a baby was saying that.
Look, there was a pimp who was a baby in this part. So
What?
yes. No more context. No more context. Just pimp baby.
Beware the baby pimps.
Yeah.
Blue.
But so this part has two protagonists, kind of. Well, it has the actual JoJo and the friend, and the friend is actually kind of more of a protagonist than the JoJo of this part. But yeah,
Isn't that
that's
what
just
part
a
3
thing with-
did? I thought you said that's
Well-
what part 3 did.
I don't think so. No, it was mostly about Jotaro.
Ah, okay.
Part 3 was. It's what the new universe does because actually I have since heard that Araki announced before Part 7 came out back in 2000.
Huh.
But yeah, before Part 7 came out, Araki was like, you know what, I'm taking a break from JoJo, I'm gonna start working on a different manga series, and then Part 7 came out, and for the first, I don't know, like 12 or so chapters, they didn't have JoJo in the title, because it was supposed to be about Gyro Zeppeli. And then slowly it was like, well, you thought I wasn't working on JoJo, but actually,
Pulled a sneaky on you.
yeah. Araki Araki quit making JoJo so he can draw Naruto now.
Yeah.
Actually happened, kind of. But yeah, so here's Araki Naruto.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
It's beautiful.
It's the
Isn't
worst
it?
thing I've ever seen.
But yeah. Anyway, back on topic. So Joshu continuing to be divisive because some people see that he has potential, and some people like me dislike him because like any potential that he might have, he has squandered by freaking doing creepy shit multiple times by now. And that came to a kind of a halt with this last issue because there's this plant that's the MacGuffin of this part. There's a plant that if you eat, then you can merge with people and shit. That's how Four Balls Josuke happened.
Okay.
And people want this plant. And stuff like that. So Joshu went to the female protagonist of this part, and he's like, your arm is cut off, because it was. Eat this plant, and then I'll just give my arm for yours. Which is, it's valiant in the context, or it's supposed to be, I suppose. I don't know. And then she hesitated. So he started climbing on top of her, and then doing weird poses. And I don't mean JoJo poses, I mean like rape poses. and then she like while he was hesitating about losing the arm, because he actually realized what the hell he said. She was like, you know what, you're being creepy, so I'll take your arm. she took the plant and ate it, and that's where we are right now. The arms have been switched.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know about JoJo Part 8. It's okay. I kind of liked it better when it was more slice of life.
Yeah.
Like the enemy is interesting and stuff. It's just not always happening with the characters. Or like, there's 2 fight scenes going on during all of this plant stuff right now, but like one of them are like, actually both of them are stuck for the same reason. The antagonist's power is that if you try to attack him, you die. So kind of hard to have a really tense fight scene. It's more tactical fight scenes where they're just trying to freak, like they're doing footsies. They're doing footsies in the comic. They're trying to make the other side whiff so that they can whiff punish it. And that's been going on for the past 5 volumes. So
Quality.
yeah.
The highest.
Like I wish something actually interesting happened with the fights that isn't just the antagonist eating wasps for no reason.
Excuse me?
Yeah, there's one scene or whatever, one picture. Actually, a couple of pictures where we just look, like we just see the user of the antagonist stand, and wasps just fly into his mouth and he eats them.
As you
I don't get it either.
do.
Araki plays by his own rules and comes up with genuinely new and unique ideas, even if they are not necessarily good or interesting ideas. And I am happy that Araki does his thing, because I enjoy things that take inspiration from JoJo, but know to cut out the parts that don't make sense. Dark Souls takes inspiration from JoJo, but cuts out the stupid parts. Guilty Gear takes inspiration from JoJo, but cuts out the stupid parts, or keeps the stupid parts, but acknowledges that they're stupid.
Yeah. I mean, I guess there's some way that I can make sense of this whole wasp eating. So the main antagonist is a stone person. They're a rock human, and rock humans are, yes.
Okay.
That it kind of explained, but not really. Main point is that rock humans start out as like small pebbles, and when they're babies, they crawl inside. Yeah, they crawl inside like a wasp nest, and they crawl in. What?
You meant to say the pebble starts eating wasps?
No, the pebble crawls inside the queen wasp, and then starts controlling it like a parasite.
Oh, shit. This is so weird.
Wasp mecha.
And once the pebble reaches age 17, they, like, just from one day to the other, grow into the size of a 17-year-old human. And the wasp nest just bursts, and they're naked.
You know, that'd be a different introduction for the T800, I gotta say.
Yeah. And after that, wasp people, that's scary. That's a scary thought.
People,
Don't do
wasp people, talk, fly like wasp, talk like people.
Uh, but yeah, the rogue people then assimilate themselves into mankind, and then try to look for these plants that are the MacGuffin to try to not be as rocky anymore. Is the best way I can put it. But so the best explanation for the antagonist eating wasp that I can come up with is he just called upon them because he was hungry. Because technically they do have a connection with wasp. Jojo.
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah. And then aside from that, well, I also played Guilty Gear.
Yay. I didn't because I
And-
thought that would be. I didn't because I wanted to go easy on people.
I checked out the EX modes because they made them unlock at the start, I think.
Oh, okay.
The EX what?
And- EX modes, basically they give the characters different movesets.
Ah,
And let me tell you, EX Chip Zanov is scary. Scarier than Slayer. Somehow scarier than Slayer. Like EX Chip Zanov can just link any special into any special at any point. Why not?
Oh, okay.
Also, he's as fast as Soul in the Dragon Install because speed.
And every character has like 5 EX variations, right?
Well, no, I think everyone has an EX mode. I'm not sure if they have something else. I feel like they also have like a gold variant or something. But Soul and Key have like 5 or 6 variations, all versions of them. Actually, I don't know about Robokey. Robokey might not.
I think what it is they have every past variation plus gold and shadow variations or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
And I don't know how it works for like new characters. Like I can't see ABBA having a Guilty Gear 1 variation, but at the same time they could try and figure that out.
Yeah.
Whatever. I need to actually look into that myself so I don't understand what the hell we're talking about here.
But yeah, I checked those out. Some of them are weird. Like Johnny just becomes a parry character, a solely parry character.
That makes sense, actually.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't really fit how I play him, but it makes sense. And what else is there to say? I don't think there is any.
Okay.
Anything to say. So, yeah, I think that's all I've done.
All right. I will try to move quickly. I will say, Fargo season 4 is finally kicking off. I will not go into detail, but every Fargo season has a point in its season where things kick off. A character dies or something, and oh boy, here we go.
it hits the fan.
Yep. Everything that's about a mob war has to eventually have the point where it tips off and it's like, oh, mob war begin now. And
Yep.
we have hit that point. There's a certain character who I have been thinking this whole season, like, Fargo every season has a secret badass character. A character who from the beginning you don't think, well, it's not so much secret, but every season of Fargo has at least one killing machine character, guaranteed. A character who will have a fight scene at some point in the season where he takes on like 10 people and wins. And it's part of the fun with Fargo is guessing at the start of the series, each season, who's going to be the killing machine, right?
Right.
I think I may have gotten it correct this time, but he hasn't had his big moment yet. The character I'm thinking of has only killed 2 people so far. I'm waiting for the big shootout, because there's always a big shootout once per season, and I'm excited. It's Coen Brothers. The Coen Brothers are very good at handling violence where it's quick and brutal and kind of cool looking, but at the same time not gratifying. Which is always the dangerous line to walk, especially considering Fargo's main point is, boy, all this violence is kind of pointless and just hurting people.
Right.
So you always gotta be careful when you're making a violent work of fiction about how violence is bad, is, well, do not do this cool thing, right?
Right.
And I think Fargo does a pretty good job of it most of the time. There are some characters that are a little too cool with it, but, you know. Other than that, I got to play a couple games. So you guys remember about a month ago when we were looking for cheap games on Steam to pick up, one of the ones that we passed by was Blood and Bacon, a game for 99 cents. Where you play as farmers fighting hordes of zombie pigs.
Ah.
And it looked very, very low budget, but it had very good reviews.
No, but sure.
If I provide the store page link, you guys will get it. Hang on, give me just a second to get the store page link. So, yeah, it's pretty well exactly what we would have guessed. It's very much a bunch of silliness. It's very, very... On a technical level, you could absolutely say it's bad. Which is why I wouldn't recommend that we all get it, because I don't think Addie'd get a kick out of it. But if you want to play a game that is bad and knows it's bad and is having fun with it and is just stupid, here's an FPS where you kill hordes of zombie pigs. Like, yeah, sure.
Ah, yes, this game. I remember I called this game a possible asset flip.
It's... Yeah, okay. Addie, do you know when you run into the jank fighting games, but it's fun because it's jank?
Yeah.
This is
Sometimes.
like that for FPSs. But they know they're jank. You know?
I mean, the thing with jank for me is that, like, most jank fighting games I like are attached to IPs that I otherwise also like. So, like, I like freaking Basara Cross and Hokuto no Ken because they do stupid shit, but they're also in series that I know, and at least Sengoku Basara knows that it's doing stupid shit. Yeah. But then there's things like the Fight of Blank series, which I hate, and does the same thing. Well, I don't hate them, but I dislike them.
Well,
Hate is a strong word.
You dislike Fight of Animals more than Fight of Gods as well, which is worth noting.
Yeah.
Because Fight of Animals is memes, you know?
Yeah, true.
Which I tire of meme culture, but at the same time I appreciate stupid experimentation. And I like seeing outsiders take a shot at fighting games even if it's not successful, you know?
Yeah.
Can always use some new blood. Which is why they need to bring back Darkstalkers! And Bloody Roar, did you guys hear about that?
I did.
Yeah,
Hear about what?
Konami has refreshed done the refreshing of licenses that indicates they're going to come up with something new in the Bloody Roar series soon, and it's not a pachinko machine.
I don't even know
that
what
we know
Bloody
of.
Roar is.
It's a furry fighting game.
Kind of a furry fighting game. It's like Tekken, but every character has a button that when you press that button, it turns them into a were-animal. So you start out as Kung Fu Man, but you have a werewolf button, and as soon as you press your werewolf button, your Kung Fu Man becomes a werewolf.
Oh.
A Kung Fu werewolf.
Yes, a Kung Fu werewolf.
I like it.
And there's a 20-character roster, each of the characters being different fighting styles, and each of them have different animals they turn into. There's one guy who's already kind of a bug man to begin with, but when he activates his werebug form, he just becomes buggier. And people are very interested, because now is a very good time for 3D fighting games. Both Tekken and Soul Calibur are doing very, very well. Dead or Alive kind of pissed itself, but nobody cares about Dead or Alive.
I mean, Virtua Fighter is on its way in some shape or form.
Sega confirmed something is happening. That's the important part.
Yeah.
So, what the fuck is Konami doing, by the way? What is happening?
Panic is happening.
Like, oh, hey, Silent Hill 4 got ported to PC. What? Why that game?
Wait, Silent Hill 4 got ported to PC?
You didn't hear about this?
No!
About 2 months ago, just out of the blue, Silent Hill 4 for PC. Like, what?
Nice. I mean, it's probably not a good port job, but it's a port job.
No, it's not a good port job. There's actually, you know how the nightmares appear in your room if you get low sanity?
Yeah.
Half of them don't work.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if they've patched it, but at release, half of the thing that the game got praised for was missing.
Good.
Oh, man.
Konami tries doing something good. It messes up every time.
Yeah. Like, would it not be the happiest day if Konami just announced tomorrow, oh, hey, we sold all of our properties to Capcom or Square or Sony?
Yeah, not if Square.
Not Square,
definitely,
no.
definitely not if Square, but Capcom maybe. Capcom can be kind of indecisive whether or not it actually wants to do stuff with freaking IPs. But yeah, Sony.
Sony pumps a lot of money into their games, is the key thing there.
Yeah, that is true.
Capcom puts a lot of love into their games. The trouble is that Capcom doesn't want to compete with themselves, which is why we don't have Darkstalker, because Street Fighter V is still around and Street Fighter 6 is coming out soon, so they don't want Darkstalkers 4 to leech the Street Fighter audience.
Yeah, and we don't have Sengoku Basara 5 because they're still working on freaking translating Force to Meragi into English. It's gonna be the greatest game when it comes out.
I am actually curious what Sengoku Basara 5 will look like on the PS5, because, like, Dynasty Warriors, it's still just gonna be Dynasty Warriors. They don't give a fuck. They don't bother to add anything or, like, make the graphics look any better. Sengoku Basara would actually try to make use of new tech innovations, so I'm curious about that.
Yeah, Sengoku Basara is still kind of behind the times when it comes to graphics, but not as much as the Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah,
like
the ways that it's behind graphics, for one thing, like, what we're talking about, like, didn't Sengoku Basara 4 come out on PS3?
Yes.
So it's just a ported forward PS3 game, and so is Sumeragi.
Yeah, so was Sumeragi. Sumeragi was, and so was Yukiden.
We didn't get to see what Sengoku Basara looks like on 8th gen graphics, because it skipped the 8th gen.
Yeah.
Which is generally a trend for modern game franchises, that sequels come out at a much slower rate nowadays than they used to.
Except for Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
That will never stop until either Ubisoft burns or people just legitimately stop supporting them whatsoever.
But doesn't Assassin's Creed have the same thing as Call of Duty, where they've got 3 dev teams that cycle it?
Not anymore.
Oh, okay.
They used to have Montreal and Toronto. I think Toronto. Whatever. I forget, but they used to have Montreal and another. They used to have 3. Then one of them got dissolved, so now it was 2. And one of the I think it was Toronto or whichever the other one was that made Odyssey, and that team got dissolved as well. So
despite Odyssey being a big hit.
Yeah. Oh no! Actually, the team didn't get dissolved. They got taken off of Assassin's Creed completely because they complained about having to make Assassin's Creed anymore. So now they do their own stuff with Immortals, which is just Odyssey again. And
what's it say about Assassin's Creed that the reward for making a good Assassin's Creed game is that you don't have to make any more Assassin's Creed games?
Yeah. The state of the franchise. Honestly. And I mean, also there's a distinction to be made. They didn't make a good Assassin's Creed game. They made one that sold really well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because you can't deny that it sold well. It didn't sell like the most in the series, but it was up there.
Oh.
So yeah. Yeah, I forget what I was going. Oh yeah, well, now it's only Montreal. Montreal split up, so they have 2 teams, I think, working on Assassin's Creed now. But it's only one studio, so yeah.
All right. So yeah, Valhalla. How long did Valhalla come? How big of a distance is there between Odyssey and Valhalla? 2 years?
Maybe, I don't think so. I think it was 1 year again.
Shit. Oh, does Valhalla come out this year?
Yes.
Oh.
I believe. I think it's coming out in like a month or something.
Why haven't I heard anything about it? I only seen the same picture of the 2 Viking dudes kissing.
What? I haven't seen that picture.
You haven't?
No, send link.
For a good while, that was what everybody was talking about. It was like, oh, gay Vikings, oh! For different reasons. There was one crowd that was like, gay Vikings, oh! And another crowd that was like, gay Vikings,
Yeah, according to local video game store to me, it's coming out on the 10th of next month.
What the hell?
Really? Wow.
As in November.
Yes, November.
I had no idea.
What the fuck?
I figured it'd be coming out maybe spring of this upcoming year.
I mean, here's the thing. Assassin's Creed has always come out during or near October, so that makes sense.
Well, yeah,
But-
it's one of the big year-end games alongside Call of Duty.
Yeah, and the holiday season as well.
You got to get it in for Christmas for the kids,
Yeah,
But-
for the kids.
so the kids can play
For
your
the kids
Viking
who are
game
like-
where you graphically murder people.
Yeah, all those 22 to 38-year-old kids. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
you know that a lot of the Assassin's Creed audience is definitely younger than that.
Well, yeah, but a lot of the people who are spending money on Ubisoft are between 22 and 38.
Well, the people who would have grew up with Assassin's Creed 2, yeah. But a lot of the people who grew up with Assassin's Creed 2 didn't buy aren't buying Valhalla. They bought Ghost of Tsushima, like Addy.
Very
Yeah.
true. Very true.
Friendship has ended with Ubisoft. Now
it's
Sucker
honestly-
Punch is my best friend. Uh,
Freaking
we'll see.
hilarious.
we'll
how
see.
it evolved.
Yeah, we'll see about that friendship with Sucker Punch, because you know,
Eh,
I expect innovation, or at least upping of quality in freaking the second Ghost of Tsushima game. Because I really liked the game, but it would be a lie to say they didn't have like big issues.
and
But
every first
Yeah.
game in a series has to, honestly.
yeah.
Yeah. Look at the
I mean-
first Assassin's Creed. The game was
Yeah.
terrible.
The first Assassin's Creed, ideas were had.
Ideas were had.
I mean, like, when you think about it, that's a freaking cycle with Assassin's Creed. I'm wagering that the next Assassin's Creed is also going to be shit, because the first Assassin's Creed, ideas were had, but not really well executed. Assassin's Creed Unity, ideas were had. Bad ideas sometimes, but ideas nonetheless. Freaking
Origins.
completely broken. What about Origins?
Well, Origins wasn't that bad for a big innovator.
Oh, no, I'm
Odyssey was
talking
not a
about
great
the-
follow-up, though. It's like they delayed the early installment badness to Odyssey there.
But Unity was the earliest installment in Assassin's Creed on current gen.
Yeah, but Unity was still sticking to the classic Assassin's Creed stealth.
Yeah,
Stealth
did
open.
Odyssey kind of revamp how
Origins did.
basically everything worked?
Origins,
Yeah,
turned it
Origins did.
Origins turned it into an RPG. Origins wasn't bad, but Odyssey was.
Yeah, Origins like, if some of the RPG-ness of Origins was nerfed, it would still be fine. It wouldn't be just something that they slapped the Assassin's Creed name on, and then they went the exact opposite direction. Because Assassin's Creed has had light RPG elements since freaking 2,
Yes.
maybe Brotherhood, but
You build
Not-
up
not-
the
not
villa
this.
like you would a character, honestly.
yeah.
I didn't realize Assassin's Creed's weird tycoon mechanics went that far back, by the way. It's super shallow in AC2, by the way. I haven't finished Sequence 4 yet, but I've already got Montrogeny upgraded to the maximum level.
Nice.
That happened way too
W.
quickly.
W, whenever you see guards standing in front of an open door, like 4 guards
That
standing in
means
front
there's
of an
a
open door.
codex page or treasure chest inside.
Yes, you need to take the codex pages, because then your game will just stop at one point and tell you to get the codex pages again.
Oh, it actually has a fucking get all the Riddler trophies moment?
Yes,
Oh, that's dumb.
it is dumb.
Ha! I did not know that. I was going to get them all anyways because I figured like significant unlockables would be tied to them, but Jesus.
I mean, that's actually the reasoning they give. There's a significant unlockable that you need to get, and the ending won't make sense without it. So get it.
We have a cutscene where Ezio uses a super cool grappling hook type thing, but you haven't unlocked it yet, so please go unlock that.
Yeah. It's not even necessary. Ezio just uses it for style purposes, and then someone looked at it afterwards and was like, "Oh fuck, the player may not have the grappling hook by this time."
The player won't understand why Ezio's slinging in like Spider-Man.
You know that would be more of a justification than what actually is in the game.
What, Ezio
I
just
don't
pulls
know
out a
if I
machine
want
gun?
to know what's in the game now.
Okay, so the unlockable that you need to get is Altair's clothes.
Oh,
That's it.
the game spoils the fuck out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just opened up the pause menu one day and I was like, "Oh, inventory section, Altair's clothes, what?"
Oh no, not those clothes. Those are Uplate thing. I mean the armor of Altair.
Oh, okay. Oh,
That's the thing.
really?
Yeah.
Because Brotherhood never expects you to get the armor of Brutus. That's very much a side thing in Brotherhood.
Yeah, in this game, it's a side thing in this game as well. Aside from like the last sequence or something like that, where the game, if you don't have it, the game just goes, "Oh shit, what now?" and then you
It's a
just need
side
to go.
thing until it becomes mandatory.
It'd be funny if you get to the end game without the appropriate pages. Mario just blows up the gate. Hey,
I mean, I
nephew, you
wish.
didn't get the fucking armor. Don't worry, I got it.
I mean that would have been a less freaking less like play stopping moment than what they actually did, which is Rebecca goes, "Oh hey Desmond, it seems like Ezio collected all of the codex pages. I wonder what they do."
I'd rather the game just explicitly tell you, "Hey, we can't access the next sequence of memory without all the pages."
That's what they do.
Oh, I thought you were just saying she makes a suggestion, and then the game's like, "You gotta do this."
Yeah, no. Whenever she suggests stuff like that, it's supposed to be basically an order because it's established that the enemies can go forward without you doing all the things and thinking 100%.
This is the problem with Assassin's Creed being built. Like, oh, you're going through your ancestors' memories, and it's like, well, did the memories happen out of fucking order, or does Ezio change everything? Is it fucking Schrodinger's Assassin's Creed? Like, is it Schrodinger's Assassin's Codex pages? Every time you look at Ezio's memories, it changes what time he gets each page.
Yeah. Well, from what I remember, in lore it's supposed to be, well, the Animus knows that Ezio got all of the pages, but it doesn't remember when he got them because that's not significant information. Which is how they also explain things like killing guards, because Ezio killed a guard at one point. We don't know when, we don't know who, but a guard. So you
But
can just kill any guard.
It can recall what every goddamn building looked like in perfect detail.
Yeah. It's an inconsistency, yes.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, anyway, where were we?
I don't know what we were talking about. Shit, whatever. I'll just... Blood and Bacon, I think. Anyways, let's move on. That game got more discussion than I expected, I gotta say. Ah, shit. What else did I do this week? I only did one thing, really, that I can talk about here that won't be talked about on Fighting Games R, which is I went back, put a little time into Total War Rome 1 because, I don't know, I felt like it. Total War Rome 1 is the game that pretty well established the Total War formula. It was the first one in 3D. Prior to that, Total War was sprite-based, which is weird to think about.
Yeah, it is, and I've only played one.
Yeah. And Rome 1 is one that I shit on constantly because Total War fanboys blow their fucking loads for it. Hard. And it's old, it's jank, it's got some really dumb things that later games fixed, like every Total War after Rome 1 has kind of a model randomization feature where, like, you'll have a unit like, let's say, French Spearmen. Well, you'll have a unit of 160 French Spearmen, and there are 10 different French Spearman models that the game can use, and so it randomly cycles through them for each individual model within the unit. So you'll have 160 French Spearmen, but if you look at each one of them, there's like 10 different faces you'll see. Rome 1 didn't have that. You'll have an army of 160 Roman legionnaires, and they all are identical from head to toe. That's a little bit silly. It doesn't get real fucking stupid until you see one of the barbarian factions, though. And you go against the Gauls, and they have a unit of 160 Gaelic spearmen. And they all are wearing just the green and red pinstripe pants, no shirt. They are all gingers, all have the exact same goatee, all have the exact same hair done in pigtails.
Oh, that's a sight.
It most certainly is, let me tell you. And so I, for a long time, have shit on the game, and like everything this game does, that some game does it better. Like Rome 2 is technically better in every way. But I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to sit down and actually play it. And I put like an hour into a campaign with Rome. And I hate to say it, game's pretty good. The poo-poo has been eaten, right? With that said, I still stand by my statement that everything this game does, another game does better. But I understand that a big part of why people praise Rome 1 is because the gameplay has a very different feel from the other Total Wars. For one thing, ranged attacks fucking suck in Total War Rome 1. Like, I was wondering, like, oh, hey, I'm having my archers pelt these Gaelic spearmen. Why aren't they coming closer? I looked over and it's just like, I was doing no damage. They have no real reason to be coming at me. They can sit there and take it all day. They don't care. So that's a significant difference. Like, ranged units are there to piss people off, not to do actual damage. Another thing that's a significant difference. The units haul ass. It is... You will see these Roman legionary, these Roman hastati, who are in armor and carrying rather heavy shields, just sprinting full speed, 160 of them sprinting at the exact same speed, all together, after these Gaelic spearmen. And I gotta say, for one thing, 160 people sprinting, hauling ass, but somehow all keeping the same pace so that none of them fall behind, is inherently really funny looking.
Rome didn't mess around.
It's funnier when they're heavy armored. And it's even funnier because this game had a feature where units kick up a lot of dust behind them when they run. So it looks like you got an army of fucking road runners. And death comes quickly in this game, both quickly in terms of running quickly and, oh boy, Roman hastati. Even though hastati, if any of you guys have ever seen what a hastati looked like in real life, they have the most pathetic little armor. They have a single metal plate, like a 5-inch by 5-inch brass plate, draped over the center of their chest by some string. And that's the excuse they have for armor. And I put a unit of hastati against a unit of regular Gaelic spearmen, and the hastati melted through Gaelic spearmen like a hot knife through butter. And I was like, okay, I know people like to jerk off Roman legionary efficiency a lot. I don't think it was that fucking efficient. I don't think the Roman legionaries were so, like, legendarily badass that they just turned into lawnmowers the moment they made contact with some Gauls.
It's not quite how it went down.
They're all just doing fucking spin to win.
Yeah, they didn't turn into lawnmowers. They always were lawnmowers.
Oh, you know what they were doing? You know what they're doing, Addy?
Yeah?
Each and every single one of them was doing the Centurion cutscene.
Yeah.
I would actually love to have a Rome Total War game where when you zoom in on the action, you can hear the legionaries going, "Incredibili!"
You're completely zoomed out, but you still hear a loud, echoey Etiam.
Oh, man. When I went back to For Honor, I thought it was really dumb that Centurion doesn't have a shield.
I'm fine with it. Street Fighter. with sword.
Yeah. If he could throw a Hadouken, that game would be entirely different.
Yeah. If duels had lobbies, that game would be good.
Yeah. Oh man, I mean, there was that mode where it was 4-on-4, but each of you got put into 1v1s. But the problem was that, oh boy, whoever wins quickest, that team wins. Because now it's a gank.
Oh yeah.
It would actually be kind of cool if they did it like, you remember that part of Phantom Menace? Where the laser walls separate Obi-Wan from the other two, so it's just Qui-Gon versus Maul. And then it's conveniently once Qui-Gon gets killed that the laser wall comes down, and then we get Obi-Wan versus Maul.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want laser walls, because that might be a little dissident in For Honor, but like, make it like a Punjabi prison wall, right?
Right.
Make it so there's like walls of the pikemen from Breach, but if you try to break through them, then they kill you.
Yeah. Like just an actual wall of pikemen, if you come close, stab.
Yeah.
Man, the other day I was thinking like, oh man, wouldn't it be so cool if they had a historical game that played like this and had this and this? And I realized as I was describing my dream like historical what if game, I was just fucking describing For Honor with the addition of Native Americans and Indians and Middle Easterners.
Nice. Yeah, I walk into that sometimes because sometimes I'm listening to music and I just get like, oh, wouldn't it be cool to make like an adventure story that's inspired by this music, and it would have like, I don't know, parkour and eagles as a motif. Oh shit, Assassin's Creed!
Yeah.
Not again.
Not again.
Stay out of my mind, Charles. Oh man, I believe we can call that a podcast. I don't think I've got anything left to say.
All right.
Addy? You want to say it?
What's it? What is it? You're supposed to say it's it.
Bye.
Bye.